I might. So, headphone warning real quick for this episode because I will go in and out of the mic. Uh, this episode is going to be about New Year's and kind of like what goals and what should we do to get our goals and change this year, or at least some advice I have on that right now. If I'm ever wrong about this, you can either A, let me know in the comments, or B, when I find it out myself, I will make another episode saying I was wrong. But as of right now, this is what I've found, and I hope you all enjoy. Actually, another point before we get into this, get out a pencil and a notebook or piece of paper. Even get out your phones if you're listening this on, if you're listening on Spotify especially. That was a Discord message. And just take notes, look things up yourself, and put your own thought into this, because this is what this podcast is about in the first place. Using your mind to take what I'm saying, write it down, look it up, compare it, put your own little opinions on it and your own facts on it that you know, and talk about it, argue about it if it's one of those topics with me in the comments, or your friends or your coworkers if you want to, if you're that close enough to talk about it. And I also want you all to look this up on the web, is Steve Jobs' 2005 Stanford commencement address, because that helped me a lot throughout this, writing down this idea. He made some very, very good points in that. He has 3 stories he'll share about his life, but they also have very good meaning to them. First one I'm actually going to get into my little spin with advice. Anyway, let's get right into it. Looking forward. The dots might not connect as you learn and explore, as you move forward and look for a hobby or a career or a goal of change. Maybe even as you try to plan things. Dots might not connect. That's alright. You can connect them only when looking back. Look back and you'll see your very actions and reactions made who you are and kind of what happens today. I mean, it's same with not just you, but society. Going forward, I want you to do more of the actions that help you step into that new person that you need and want to be, and to accomplish those goals you want and need. To actually take your actions and make them better. Make them into a better you, and make them into steps into actually getting your goal done. Next, we're going to talk about this a little bit deeper and just talk about habits. Habits are about, changing with habits. We are who we are with habits, beliefs, personality, and how we react. I'm going to oversimplify a lot, but just write it down. Uh, we can change into who we are by taking the habit we don't want and putting it into our conscious thought, then replacing it with the actions and habits that we want. This is what habits are: repeated actions that become an unconscious thought. It might be confusing. I try my best to describe it. Well, what do we know for sure about this? You don't know if it will work moving forward, but looking back a year or so, the answer, or at least a somewhat clear picture, even if it seems blurred, you know more now. You also need to believe in something, that the dots will connect somewhere down the road. Because when life crashes, there are times in the journey that it's worth to keep going. Sometimes life is just going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. You have to find what you love. That is as true for work as your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. The only way to do great work is to do what you love. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As of all matters of the heart, you will find it. I stole that from the video I told you all to watch and take notes on. See? Thank you, Steve Jobs, for that quote, by the way. Oh, and the apple that my generation so fawns over. Next, I'm going to get into a sensitive topic before I get into the part about goals. Death gives life its meaning. And I'm about to quote a lot, and I mean a lot, from Steve Jobs. Live life as it's your last day. You most certainly will be right. In the morning you ask yourself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? If the answer is no for many days in a row, then something needs to change. Steve Jobs said in a speech that I'm using, like I said earlier, remembering I will be dead soon is the most important tool I will have encountered. I've ever encountered to help me make big choices in my life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment, or failure, these things fall away in the face of death. Leaving what is truly important, remembering you are going to die, is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. And this is where I put the ... in my notes to signal. Again, he shares a lot of his story, so watch the video and take notes on the video. No one wants to die, even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet death is a destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it, and that is as it should be. Death is the single best invention of life. It's life's changing agent. It clears out the old and makes way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you'll gradually become old and be cleared away. Sorry for the dramatic, sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by the dogma, which is living in the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other opinions drown you out. Your own inner voice, and most importantly, drown out your own inner voice, and most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. And that's the end of the quote. Death gives life a purpose, because without it, life would be meaningless. If you don't have death, there would be no job, money, or ambitions. You wouldn't need money for survival because you wouldn't die. You wouldn't need a real job to make that money. You would have dreams. You would not have dreams to chase, no improving, because literally you have all the time in the world. So why should you spend it wasted, or in someone else's shadow, or the reflection of a part of society and others? Be you, follow your own dreams, and have your own voice, because it is powerful. Now, all we can do, we can go to the last part, which is your goals. What are your goals? How will you achieve them? How will you make the most of this year? What have you done? Not much, not what you wanted, right? This year will be better, right? New year, no me or you, right? Wrong. You are still the same. You got the same job or same class in just a few days. Same setbacks, same loop. You need to grow. Let's have the new year with that in mind. I know it's not what you wanted, but trust me, you'll make it. And you'll make the best of it. You just gotta work for it. You probably don't know what you want to do right now, and you definitely don't know how. Make it your duty to learn how to actually complete your goals, to change yourself to the person that gets that stuff done that you want done. As a result of your work, who you are, make that how your goals are completed. This year, find your passion. Find who you want to be. Learn to be yourself. Learn to share your opinions rather than fight about them. Make this the year about how and why. To share your opinions. Write things down and think about it. Take notes. Record things. Track your progress and findings. Also, don't forget about joy. And have those moments along the way. I'm going to be honest. I had a lot of notes on this, so I stuttered a lot, but that's alright. I hope you yourself took some notes from this and researched a few things yourself. At any moment, you can either rewatch this, well, listen to this, or you can pause this if you do rewatch it. Let me know what you find in the comments. Have a good year. This is Unknown Potential Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, opinions, arguments, topics you want to share, or anything you want me to cover, let me know with the specifics of what you want to know in the comments. And also, you should share this video or podcast episode, depending on what you want to call it at this point. It's on YouTube and Spotify, but it's not exactly. I don't know. But you can share this with people you want to just say, hey, I found this is interesting. I want to talk about it. Or you can say, hey, research this. You can share it with anybody who you might think will want to watch this or who you just want to share this with. And encourage them to watch it themselves, take their own notes, and actually kind of research stuff. And watch that video, Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement address. Anyway, for business inquiries, email me at unknownpotential777@gmail.com. That is unknownpotential777@gmail.com. Let's see how I can help you unlock your unknown potential.